people. This is the first time some people are actually using the platform. So I think we have two guys who are like struggling to get their foot in. Mr. Lawful
Okay.
will be with us in like a minute or so.
We are right now we are live.
Yeah.
So let's get started.
Okay.
So good afternoon and welcome to everybody.
Thank you.
All right. So today is the first edition of the People's Voice, and I'm happy to have beautiful people on the platform today to discuss a topic that I think I am particularly passionate about, the passport bros. Just a brief introduction. There's a recent phenomenon in America today whereby the men over there are kind of tired of their women in their country, and they are traveling across the world to find women who are more feminine and willing to cooperate. And as at now, the tendency is for them to travel to places like Thailand, the Philippines, and Latin America. A few of them have noticed are actually coming to Africa, but it is my understanding that they are particularly interested in Africa, especially that most of them are black men. And so, um, I want to know how African men and women will react to this tendency. And
Hello, sir.
yeah,
Please, sorry to cut you short.
can
There is
you?
someone who is trying. Sorry to cut you short. There's someone who is trying to join, and it's only you who can add him.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Lordford, you can
Oh,
just
okay.
check your. Yes,
All right, all right.
just try to add him to the stream.
Yeah. Let me see. Just a little while. Let me see how. Okay. I'm looking at. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Good. Huh? There are actually two people trying to log in. I think it's now fine.
Can you ever get recording? All right. Yes,
Okay.
yes, I'm on. I'm on.
Okay. All right. So as I was saying,
Laptop, sorry.
today, today we are going to discuss the passport bros. So let me start straight away with the ladies. So the first thing I want to ask you guys is, would you consider marrying somebody from another country, more specifically from America? So let me start with you, Michelle. So now, before you begin, you have to introduce yourself and then tell the people whatever thing they want to know about you, and then you answer the question. Go ahead.
Okay. Banwi Michelle Achi, a Cameroonian from Bamenda, Batibo to
Yeah.
be precise. I'm a student, level 400, in accounting in UB.
Okay. All right.
All right. So, for our discussion of today, like, will I consider marrying someone from abroad to be precise with?
The question.
Yeah.
You should give her the
Yes.
question again.
Yeah. My question is, would you consider marrying somebody from abroad, especially someone from America, and then you give one or two reasons for your answer.
Yeah, I can consider marrying someone from abroad.
Yeah.
from US.
Yeah. Is there any reason for that?
Yes, like for me, firstly, the level of education in US like is more advanced than the level of education here in Cameroon. So marrying someone from abroad, like it can easily like the education of my children and yes of my children can be more advanced than when I marry someone from Cameroon to compare with that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and again I can like have dual nationality, and again to talk of like it brings for me it brings unity between two countries. It
Okay.
brings unity, yes. And the culture, yes, it can help me to learn like different cultures, all the ways.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting introduction from you. Let's take what Sophia would say about this topic. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to start by thanking you for giving me this opportunity. Indeed, this is just an opportunity, a platform that gives people the opportunity to express out themselves. I'm Tano Sophia, a student in UB, a level 400 student studying management. Going back to the topic, will I like to, or will you prefer getting married to somebody abroad? Normally, I will start by saying it depends on the individual. Do you get?
Okay.
Like, each and everyone has his or her own way in reasoning and has what they want in life. If we look at our society today, depending on the individual, somebody will prefer getting married to somebody from abroad, whereas the other hand, another person might not. Like I said, it depends on the perspective of the individual. So might say yes, like what Michelle was just saying, getting married to somebody abroad might change your life, make you a new person, having new nationality. But somebody else might not see it that way. First, you need to think of your security. Where are you getting into? With who am I getting into? Because it's not just like somebody come from abroad, then want to get married to you, just bashing into it because he's from abroad. Have you asked yourself, do I know this person? And I guess and I believe people like that, they hardly get time to know each other before they get into marriage and whatsoever. So like I will say again, it all depends on the individual, what they want and their perspective of how they see life. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. I like your take. It gives us the
Yes.
opportunity to start breaking down the details of yeah of it. But before we go to men, I would like to proceed to have Vardian, yeah, tell us what she thinks about that topic.
You will try to ask Mr. Boris. He had an issue and he should be added on.
Yeah, he's on.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
And it will be nice people to mute their mic when they are not talking.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
So now we are with Vardian. What's your take on this topic? Unfortunately, we, we cannot hear you very well. So I don't know. Go ahead. Yeah, try one once again. Let's see if your sound is good enough. Continue. Yeah. Okay. Just try to see how you can fix your. We'll come back to you. While you try to fix the sound of your
I'm trying to
device.
they have to unmute her mic.
Okay. Yeah.
Unmute your mic.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself now.
No.
Yeah, go ahead. Good.
Okay.
No, no, unmute now.
You are on mute?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Her mic is
Yeah,
muted,
No.
man.
Oh,
you're
it's
muted
muted
again.
again.
Okay, go ahead. You're okay now. Yeah,
Oh, something is wrong.
yeah, something is wrong with the sound. So we are going to move on to the next speaker while you adjust your volume. Okay, just try to see how to get your volume in order while we're talking while the next person is responding. And so we I would like to hear from Mr. Um, Azimbobi. Yeah.
All right.
Now
Once,
my question to you here is: would you like your sister to marry a man from abroad?
all right. Thank you for the question and a warm afternoon greetings to all the panelists. It's a pleasure, and the population today is encouraging. All right. Coming back to our question of discussion, I think this question is somehow technical on the fact that marriage itself is something that before once get into it, you need to first of all evaluate it yourself, investigate, and then before you can get to accept the man, and you go with the man. And so, in the context of somebody from America, as our case study, I can accept to allow my sister get married to somebody in US, but with thorough investigation, because I know when people are coming outside there, there's a lot of excitement from us down here. But I will encourage my sister to marry there because one, their economic situation there is favorable for 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 marital union, and is favorable for family growth in terms of their work system. It's difficult to find over there, and so is a pull factor already for you to allow the sister, or for me to allow my sister to get married there. And two, there too in America, their policies are so good in an extent where human rights is respected both in the woman and the.
Yeah, I think Mr. Azimbobi is facing some network problems. This is really an issue that we are going to be facing in this stream, given that most of the speakers are in an area where there is unstable network connection. However, we will still have to proceed. I would like Mr. Boris to take over and give us his opinion while we wait for Mr. Zimobi to come back, hoping he gets connected soon. So, Mr. Boris, what do you have to say about this topic? And would you like your sister to marry someone from America? Can you unmute yourself, please? You are muted.
Are you speaking to
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, I'm saying that
Yeah.
now you take over from Mr. Zimobi since he's having connection problems.
I think it's your data. Just try to check your data. Okay. Um. Uh. If I will allow my sister to get married to someone from abroad, I would say it depends. I would say it depends. Of course, you always wish well for a family member, you always wish well for a friend. I think marriage is something, it's a relationship that is one of the most unique relationships we have. One of the most unique relationships that exist because it's the effects of marriage are experienced by just the two people involved. So, for me to allow my sister to get married to, let's say, someone from abroad, I will first of all start by saying that I think like more than 80% of that decision is hers to make, not mine. But I can only advise based on the way I look at how the relationship she has with the person. Because believe me, you getting married to someone who you don't know. I've seen cases where people get married to people who they don't know. So I think like for me, it doesn't become a question of geographical location, like this person is from America, this person is from Africa. It becomes the question of the relation, the chemistry you have with that person. Yeah.
Okay.
So will I allow my sister to get married to someone from America? My answer in simple terms is yes, provided they love each other, provided she knows who she's getting married to and is ready to spend the rest of her life with that person. The question of geographical location to me doesn't have a lot of implication. It's true that when someone is from America, he has a different culture. Maybe the person, in this case, we did not specify if it's an American citizen. We just said someone from America. So I'm just assuming that okay, it's someone that has lived in America. Maybe the person is, on average, the person he will be loaded with cash. On average, the person, like the reasoning faculty of the person and the way the person interact will be like, I think the person will be more educated, the person will be learned, and the person will also have a high chance of giving the kids a better future, given the fact that the person is based in a good economy, vibrant economy, a system where the corruption rate is very low, a system where nepotism and tribalism is next to zero. So that aspect will be brought. The husband in question is going to bring all those things to the table and is going to like help the children and my sister as well to live in a good environment, and it's going to help them to grow economically. But like I said, all to me, all these things are just secondary. The first thing is, do you know that person well enough? Do you love the person? How well do you know that person? Are you ready to live with that person for the rest of your life? That's what I'm concerned about. I don't care so much about where the person is from. Yeah, that's just the way I
Okay.
see it.
All right. Um, Haven't heard your responses. There's one other element I want to bring into the picture so that it helps guide our discussion. Um, it is said that America has some of the highest divorce rates ever on earth. About 75% of marriages in America actually end in divorce somewhere along the line. So, with this information in mind, do you think that getting married to someone in America is a good deal? Anybody can start responding. Whoever thinks they have the answer can. Yeah, Mr. Azimbobi, can you say something about that?
Okay, at least we have a guy there. From the statistic of you've said, the highest cases of America in the country of America, they have almost highest cases of divorce. I believe that it's happening because this idea of gender equality is seen in their society in a more advanced way, whereby if as a man, if you marry a woman and you get to violate certain rights of the woman, you are bound to divorce with the woman, and she has a right to sue you to court, and the case be on her side. Secondly, a lot of multiple sex um, laissez-faire, I can put it in quote, is in America, whereby lesbians, homosexuality is something that is seen as a normal thing in those society. And so, for a man to quickly divorce the wife and maybe get married to another man is something there that is seen as a normal thing. It's not too bad against their culture, the Western culture, and the American culture as well. So I think that those are one of the causes of high rate of divorce in America. And also, there in America, people, your wife does not solely depend on you in the financial strength because it's difficult for a married woman to be jobless or a married man to be jobless there. Even if you
Mr.
are
Lover,
jobless,
please sorry. Let me just add Sophia.
okay.
Please just add Sophia. She was trying to reconnect. Just add her so that we can get what Mr. Lover is saying. It's really important that we are all present.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's
thank
online.
you. Mr. Lover, sorry for cutting you short. You
No,
can
it's okay.
continue.
So the work atmosphere is favorable for both partners to be working while their relationship goes on. And so at times you get to see some cases that the woman is even working a job that is more financial earning than the husband. And so the woman does not see a need giving the respect as a woman to the man or to keep being in a relationship. And so it highly influences the divorce rate in America and their culture too. Us here in Africa, we have our cultures and our custom that we cannot violate it. Our traditions has restricted us that when once you're married to your husband, you are bound in some societies to stay with your husband till death. But there in America, their culture is open for them to do anything at any time that you will. If you don't feel secure, your security is not guaranteed in your marriage, you are bound to divorce and live a life that you will not be disturbed. So those are some of the reasons that I think I can chip in as far as divorce in America is concerned. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, you have raised some very interesting points that I want to throw at the ladies. Ladies, if you were to get married to somebody coming from America, now these are the things that they are traveling out of America to look for: a woman who is submissive, a woman who is cooperative, a woman who can cook and clean, and a woman who, if the husband is able to provide, can accept staying home to take care of the household. So my question to you is, do you have those qualities that such men are looking for? It appears those ladies are no longer available to respond.
Yeah, I
So
think connection issue
yeah,
is disturbing.
yeah. So okay, so I would like Mr. Boris
Exactly.
yeah, to say something about this. Is it um do we still have those types of ladies in our environment that these men are traveling from afar to get? How easy how easy is it for them to be able to get such feminine women in Africa, particularly where you are living?
Uh, Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Okay. So while we wait for the ladies to reconnect, I'll just try to answer on their behalf. Like I'll just try to answer the question you just posed. You know, the world is becoming a very global, like it's becoming very global, like community. There are things that are being brought to Africa and to Asia, South America. The Western ideologies, the Western way of thinking and life is gradually eating Africa. we are gradually abandoning our beliefs. We are gradually abandoning our customs and traditions. It is becoming more and more difficult to find a woman of those qualities. It is a very bad reality, but it is the truth. Many women here in Africa, they now believe and think like white women. You hear many girls, even when even at the level of just a relationship where they are just dating, they begin to tell men that it is not a woman's duty to cook. It is not the man does not have the right to exercise authority over a woman. They are the same. Those are things we hear every now and then here in Africa. It's a very bitter reality, but it's the truth.
More and
More and
more
more
people
people
are
are
getting
getting absorbed
absorbed
by
by
the
the
negative
negative
Western
Western
influence.
influence.
There
There
are
are
many
many
girls
girls
nowadays
nowadays
who
who
don't
don't
believe
believe
that
that
a
a
husband
husband
has
has
the
the
right
right
to
to
scream
scream
at
at
the
the
wife.
wife.
When you do that, they say it is domestic violence. They don't believe that a man can correct his wife.
Why?
They don't believe that a boy can correct his girlfriend. They don't believe that a boy can correct his fiance. Those values are deteriorating. And why is this happening? Like I've been mentioning several times, Western influence, adopting the white man's beliefs, watching movies, playing video games. Those are the mediums through which the whites and the Western world are gradually putting their ideas in the hearts of youth in Africa. Watching series, they are the true movies, like I said, Hollywood, through music. When you listen to the lyrics of songs, when you play video games, you see that influence that ideology that are trying to instill in African women, that they should not be submissive to men, that they are equal to men. A man doesn't have the
Good.
right to cook. A man doesn't have the right to
Ladies,
take wash his dresses. A man doesn't have
let
the right to scream at you.
okay. Okay, ladies, after hearing what he said, what is your response?
Actually, I wish I could have heard him from the beginning, but I just came in when he was finalizing his words and everything. For
Yeah.
real, you're right. You're right, Sir Boris, but to an extent, do you get the fact that
Yeah.
people do watch movies and
Candy
they are
Sabajo
being
come make you for my
exposed
phone.
to the internet and everything
Bring me up for my
we should does not mean the ladies are actually adopting what they are seeing. Not everyone does that. Not everyone. Not
So are you
everyone.
s- are you s- so are you saying that from your own observation of you are in Cameroon, right? Of the ladies
Yes, sir.
In Cameroon, do you think that the ladies are still predominantly feminine in their ways of doing things? Are they marriage materials? Are they the type of women
I
that this
don't know.
guy is, if they come here and take one of them, they will be satisfied that they have found a true partner? Do you think that?
It all depends on what the person understands as a married, a real housewife, or let me say a real partner.
So why you not
Somebody
come up?
might have all the qualities and everything,
Oh,
hardworking, but a man might not be looking for that particular quality in her.
the thing they always trouble for
Uh,
coming
can,
up
You
can
with it.
you
understand?
can you
Why I'm
substantiate, because I do not understand, because I don't understand how somebody can have all the
okay,
qualities. Yeah,
okay. Let me say something. A
yeah,
lady who like she can cook, she can watch, and maybe she's not educated, like I can
yeah.
put it, but she can do all the house choices around.
No, it's you, bro.
It
Better
might
just send it.
be She might be someone's
If I send you
prayer
more, mommy,
point
I'll
or
connect.
someone's own life partner that the person might reach, but another person might not be looking those qualities in her. Somebody
Okay.
else might be looking for somebody who is educated, even though she's not hardworking. Maybe she cannot even cook, but as long as she is educated, as long as she's working, she can bring in something on the table. That's another person's choice. It does not matter if she can clean, if she can cook. No. That's why I say it all depends on what the person terms to be a good wife, what the person wants as a partner. So you cannot tell me because somebody is hardworking and all the like, it means it makes her a perfect partner. Not really. Not really, Sir Boris.
Well, let me ask Michelle this question. You so from what Sophia is saying, there are these guys. They have their major characteristics that they are looking for, and these characteristics are what the character traits is actually um, somebody who is submissive, who can cooperate, and somebody who can just be there to accompany the man.
Yeah, there you
You
may have.
know, yeah, I've added you.
Okay.
So my question to you is: do you think where is that noise coming from?
Oh, yeah, Mike.
No, 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 it's not mine. The noise is not from here. Anyway, let's continue. So, do you think you still have those specific traits that these people are looking for? And secondly, there is this fear that most of us,
Now, now you,
sorry,
Those who are not talking can mute their mic.
yeah, just
Those who
mute
are not
yourselves,
talking
please.
can mute. Yes, mute your mic.
Just mute so that only the person who is to talk be audible. Yeah. So, Michelle, my question is: do you think that African women are still as feminine and willing to cooperate with men as these men are looking for? And secondly, there is this assumption by many that most women in Africa are only submissive conditionally. That is, it is their economic condition that is actually keeping them in that state. So I want to know if I were to recommend to any of those men to come to Cameroon, for example, to find a wife, is there guarantees that they can find those women who will be submissive and cooperative no matter what? Over to you.
Yeah, for me, like I can say yes, they can find those that are still those that can.
Okay. Yeah. So, Vajan, you haven't spoken since the beginning due to network problems. So now you take over and tell us if indeed you think that there are still such feminine women in Africa that can meet the criteria that these men are looking for.
Okay, I think yes, they are. It just depends. Women are emotional and they act due to their situation. There are a lot of ladies who take it upon themselves not to be submissive to a man due to their past relationship. So if that man comes and she loves the man and he portrays the things she loves in a man and he genuinely loves her, she would definitely be submissive to him and she would definitely cooperate with him and she will be with him in good times and bad times. It just
Okay.
depends on how the man is to treat her. That's my own point
But
of view.
see, what I'm trying to get at is this. I want us to paint a general picture, a broad picture. Now, let me ask the question in another way. Are girls tending to be feminine or tending to be more independent in their ways of doing things nowadays? Sophia, can you
I
answer this? No, I want the ladies to first of all give their yes.
Um, I can say that's indeed a very tricky question, but depending on how like the era on which we are now, because we are now in the 21st century, and ladies nowadays are working hard to see how they can be independent, irrespective of a man being there or not. That is just the truth. The part of them being feminine is actually dying day by day, because they want to be that woman where they don't need to take orders from their men again. They don't need to depend on them. They can do things on their own, as well as why not even live without them? That's just the truth.
But I want to understand why this tendency is on the rise.
Um, I think that
Yeah,
is because of the situation at hand, right? The kind of instances women have gone through, maybe in the hands of men, the kind of mismaltreatment they must have passed through and all the like. So that must have caused them to say, okay, it is preferable we are independent, because as a woman, when you're independent, it gives you that respect. Your husband will respect you no matter what. No matter if a woman can provide both in the house and for herself, it gives her that level of respect that the husband can, let me say, the husband cannot do some certain things because of her position. But if you look at a woman who depends from square zero, from everything, she depends on the husband, the husband needs to do everything for her. I bet you that man will not see her the same. The man will not give her that level of respect that she deserves. That is why you see, so most women today prefer to be independent, irrespective of a man being there or not.
don't you think that lack of respect could be a result of a mismatch? Maybe somebody being with somebody who is not really the right person for her. Because
Sometimes it might be.
I want to assume that if a man loves a woman, he takes care of her in every way without lacking respect for her as well.
That is in quotes. That is actually in quotes, and that is what we knew, and that is what they always tell us. But to an extent, along the line, they get tired. You are a man. You will not tell me, let me say, you provide for a woman. The fact that you love her does not mean you cannot teach her to fish for herself. If you're providing for her January to December, you get tired of it. You will obviously get tired. That is just the truth.
Okay, any reaction
So
to
let's
this?
forget about the fact of,
If just unmute yourself and talk if you have a reaction to what has been said. I saw Boris trying to speak, so can you unmute? Can
mm,
Boris? Yeah, go ahead.
actually I wanted to say something, but I think
Go ahead.
she's already answered the question. I think like it's just that I think that the topic of today has taken many directions and many dimensions, and it was so vague because initially the way I interpreted the question was to be like I thought the question was trying to say that okay, are African women losing their values? The value are they losing their values in a way that they are not what men will go after nowadays? When I talk of losing their value, are they losing the values or that African men want in a woman or just what normal men want in a woman? I thought that's a direction we are going through because it's like we have taken different
In
the discussion has gone towards
indeed,
different directions.
indeed, you should state it and defend it because that's what we are looking for.
Yes.
That's
So
what we are
I
trying
was
to
of the
explore.
fact that like one of the dimensions of today's discussion was that are African women still what they used to be? in terms of the values they hold? Are they losing these values? If they are losing these values, why are they losing these values? And I get the point that I think the African woman has changed. She has evolved, and most of that evolvement has not necessarily been positive evolvement. And I said that they have evolved negatively based on our analysis. And I said, why have they evolved negatively? I said it's because they have been influenced by the Western society. And it's the truth. You cannot, like, nowadays it's very difficult for you to find a lady who thinks a man she should respect, a man who actually believes that a man is superior. When you talk of
Yeah.
superiority, they will make it seem like you are a tyrant or something. But that's the truth. That was the value an African woman actually saw her husband like superior to her in hierarchy and in everything. She
Uh,
looked up to her husband. She saw her husband as a king.
and indeed,
But now they don't,
if you
they don't look at it like that. They see it now as if we are equal. That's the truth.
today
And that's why
happens
I
to
say
be
that
good.
those values.
Let me jump in a little bit. Today happens to be Good Friday. How many of you here are Christians?
I think we all are Christians.
So if we all are Christians, it means we agree with a statement of the Bible which says that man, love your woman and woman submit to your husband. Do we agree with that statement?
Yes.
No, if you want to speak, please, you can
I
unmute.
do.
Okay, you do. Nice. Then, if that be the case, Michelle, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree, but there is a but.
Okay. Can we
Yeah,
know the
because
but?
yes, because like with that statement, like most men, we know that since the Bible says men submit to your wife, to your husband, sorry, women submit to your husband, like they can give you any decision they like, and they expect you to submit without like thinking about your own emotions and about your own stake. Maybe you don't want to do something like that, and that is what they impose because they know that they are men, so they impose, and you just have to submit in everything.
Okay. When I first asked the question, you were not connected. So I want to ask you the question again. Are you a Christian?
Yes, I'm a Christian.
So if you're a Christian, do you agree now with the Bible phrase that says, "Wives submit to your husband"?
Yes, I agree with the bet.
You agree with the
Yeah,
but?
yes.
What's the but? Why the but? Are you saying that God's instruction is not valid or not wise enough?
No, not like it's not wise enough. It's wise enough, but women we have different mentalities and we interpret it in different ways. Yeah, so someone can interpret it in another way.
Can I?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like everything, a man can interpret in a way everything he says should stand, which is not. It is not like that.
Okay. Vadian was aching to say something. Can we hear you? Vadian. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, there's a difference between being submissive and being oppressed or being respectful. The thing is that men know they know. In the Bible says a woman is submissive. Yes, they have not refused, but to a call, the man need to respect the woman as well. They need to come to a compromise. Submission is not about uh, um, being treated like a slave. People
Mhm.
don't really understand that aspect of being submissive. They are submissive to a call. There are some people who died due to aggressive marriages because they said, no, I want to submit to my husband. The husband beat them, and at the end, they died. They are losing their life. That one now was called, that one now is slavery, maltreatment, not submission. So it depends.
Okay.
Then you have to be submissive, but when you see that no, it's getting out of hands, that now you should.
Very, very well. But I think the point Boris raised initially is that the reason, and this is the more reason why in America the men are leaving, trying to look for the kind of women that they think are more suitable for marriage. And the major aspect that is problematic to them is the inability of the women to submit. And most of them, what they describe as submission, is not really a matter of dominance. It's more about you being able to listen to them. you having a discussion and allowing them to now make the final decision for things to go forward. But most of these women, they want to have the same say and sometimes to veto what the man says. And this creates friction among them. Now, my question is, in Africa, do we have more of these women who can have a discussion with the man and then allow the man to go ahead to use his own discretion to make a plan and execute?
Please, can I
Yeah,
speak?
anybody can answer. Yeah,
Can
go
I speak?
ahead. Yes.
So I keep on saying it, and I will not change my view. I said in the past we had those like we had women with that profile, but I keep saying that nowadays it's becoming difficult to see women like that. They called it oppression. I said it. Some of them call it oppression. There is, because some of them will call it oppression. They will say you are a male chauvinist because you scream at your wife when she does something wrong. She says, "Hey, domestic violence." They don't want to hear it. That's what I'm saying. They don't even want to hear it. They don't even want to even admit it. That's the truth. They will come out and say that no, it does not mean you should exaggerate. What do you mean by it does not mean you should exaggerate? A man has to exercise dominion on a woman, especially if she's doing the wrong thing. It's not anything like how many women got married to more than 300 men in the Bible? I can quote you examples. It's just to show you. I just want people to think. Solomon had how many wives? How many wives did Solomon have? How many wives did David have? How many wives did Jacob have? Even Abraham himself, how many wives did he have? Just check. The man has always been given authority over a woman. If you respect your husband, you people will never have any problem. Broken marriages, trace it. The main cause of broken marriages and broken relationships is because the woman doesn't respect the man. When a man is looking for a woman, I bet you the first thing he looks at is respect. That's the first thing. He doesn't want to. That thing that some of you guys say, oh, if you can cook, that's nonsense. The first thing a man looks for in a woman is a woman who can listen to him when he's speaking. A man doesn't want the woman who will challenge him in public. A man doesn't want a woman where when he invites his friends for them to have a drink in the house, he's talking, the woman is talking back at him. Even if your food is sweet, it becomes bitter instantly. The food becomes sour in his mouth instantly the moment he disrespects in front of his friends. That's what we are saying. I don't know why many women nowadays are trying to make it to seem as if it's something that is catastrophic. You have to respect your husband. When we talk of dominion, we don't mean violence. We don't mean like when we say a man has dominion over a woman, we don't mean like a man can beat the woman whenever he wants. We don't mean a man can rape his wife whenever he wants. We don't mean a man can disrespect his wife in front of her friends. That's not what we mean. We simply mean you as a woman, you listen to your husband. He has a right to take the decisions when it concerns the house. You can propose, but most women want nowadays they want to impose. They don't propose, they want to impose. They want to show that what you can do, they can also do. That's what I've noticed. They want to show that what a man can do, they can also do. If you can make decisions concerning the home, I can also make decisions concerning the home. If you can bring 100K to the table, I can also bring 100K to the table. There are some men who will tell their wives, okay, sit at home, I don't want you to work. Why is he saying so? He wants you to take care of his children. He wants you to be home and take care of his kids, look after the home. A woman has always been someone who nurtures. A woman has always been someone who nurtures. If you follow the Bible and if you follow many society, a woman has always been a nurturer. That's why you see when you enter a bank, you mostly see the women at the front desk. If you go to nursery schools, you always see the women teaching for nursery school students because a woman by nature has always been a nurturer. There are some men who actually have money. Your husband is a wealthy guy. He tells you, please, I want you to be home. Take care after a kids, look after a home. You bring it as a problem that he does not want you to work. He wants to claim that he's the only one that has the right to work. That's why I say that they misunderstand men a lot. You will tell a woman, please, can you make me food? She will give you some kind of comments that you don't even know where they're coming from. Please make me food. I'm talking about my experience in Europe. Just make me food. I'm not asking you for something that is unheard of. Just make me food. I'm
Can you
from work.
explain my
Make me
food?
food. No, it becomes a very big problem. Am I the one? Why can't you go to the kitchen yourself? That's why I say it's changing. The world is changing, and whether we accept it or not, it's entering Africa. The same way girls think now, that's not the way our mothers were thinking. That's the
Yeah,
truth.
so
Shout at
I
your
want
friend
to
and
ask.
hear the kind of she'll throw at you. Just shout at a girl now, or just shout at your girlfriend. You will hear the kind of statement she'll throw at you. It's very funny. It's very funny.
Boris, oh. Boris, calm down. I just want to ask you one question. You're talking of this submission,
Eh,
submission, submission, and you're saying, to what you're saying, that submission is the lady, um, let me say, you said, let the woman respect and follow the orders of the man, right? Okay, that's fine. To what extent will you see your husband doing something right, and because you put in quotes that your wife needs to submit to you, are you going to let him continue what he's doing? Because the Bible said, let's submit to our husband.
good question.
It's a good question. I didn't say that. Remember, I quoted examples, and you were here when I quoted those examples. I said that we are not saying that men should abuse women. We are saying that women should respect men. There's a difference. There's a difference.
But that is
I'm never
exactly
in
what's
support of
happening nowadays,
violence of any
because
kind or
they know,
pardon.
the women have to be submissive. They know, okay, no matter what they do, the woman just have to say yes, sir. Some men are taking it to something else. They are now taking it to, how
No,
can I
it
put
doesn't
it?
happen like that.
Meaning you can it does, it does, and that is why you see the women who can't be submissive to their husband. Because you not tell me, if a man is respectful to his wife, a man loves his wife, you not tell me that woman will not be submissive. Never, never will you
Uh-uh.
say that.
There are many
Never.
women that are disrespectful to their women. When there are many women that are disrespectful to their husbands, and those husbands are actually loving. Mr. Lawful,
Yeah,
you can talk.
can I come
I'm
in
not.
there?
Yes,
You cannot say out
yeah,
of a
you can come
hundred
in.
there is even 5% of those women. Women react due to the situation. They react due to their situation. That's just the truth. They don't
Okay.
just become disrespectful. They cannot just be nuisance to their husbands for no good reason. They can't. They can't. The most understanding people on this earth are women. Are women. If you check clearly,
And the most
they are
complicated.
women. So you cannot tell me a woman is disrespectful for no good reason. You can't.
Yeah,
You
I
cannot.
agree with you. I agree with you, Sophie. Like the point where Bobby said, like when a woman do something wrong, you shout at her. You must not shout at a woman when he do something wrong. Like if
Thank
you put her
you.
down and tell her
Thank
that what
you.
you are doing like this is not wrong, maybe you should try to do something, do it
That
this
is
other
it.
way, this other way. You must
You
not
you
shout
are
at her.
couples.
When you
You
shout
can
at her,
show
that
to
is
each
like
other.
Demoralize her.
Is that dominion? Is that what you call? Is that what you call a man being the king of the house? So because you're the king, does it give you the right to torment your wife? Does it give you the right to downgrade your wife? Your wife is your partner. Your wife is there to see you go through. So she's not sort of, let me say, an item that you can control at any time. You can manipulate at any time. That's not it. That is not
Sorry
it.
guys,
Okay.
my camera has a little hitch, so I'm trying to adjust it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So, but
All right.
Uh,
I've heard Mr. Bori talk.
Sylvia, you're talking of torment. Where you hear torment? Is it right? Which torment? Torment how? My God.
Mr. Boris, you are becoming more technical and diplomatic. All right.
I'm telling
Uh,
you, he's taking a thing too personal now.
who is
wow.
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
All right. In fact, I like the way the ladies are trying to put a place of a woman in the house, and I most appreciate you people. Indeed, I'm one of that person that I'm an advocate for the right of a woman as a human being, as equal as a man, because even though we are working with a perspective from the Bible, we still remember that the Bible itself has told us that every human being are equal in the presence of God. So, and this idea of a man being the supreme being in quotation, has also given some strength to men to feel that as they are the head of the family, they solely have the decision making of the family. And so it becomes complex for a woman who is a human to accept that superiority in all her rights. Because a lot of men, I say these things with a lot of experience, a lot of men take this opportunity like being a head and they surpasses the woman in almost everything. You do everything in the family, the woman's only here and does not have a say to put in it. You make all the decisions of the family, the woman only hear and just accept it without asking any question. But I think that as human, a woman has a place because I must bear with you people if you can't bear with me. The most successful and smartest people on earth, in fact, is a woman. It's a woman. Women are smarter, very smart in their doing. But what a man needs all in a woman, and that's bring the peace and the love and make the role of a man, that place of a man being a head is respect. All inherent in a man is respect. When a woman disrespect a man, especially in public or in the midst of another person that is out of that marital home, you provoke the beast in a man to come out. And this is where the men now take the advantage to surpass the women, to stand to declare to the women that we are more superior to you, even more than God that has created all of us. So, what African women are so
Well,
like Mr. Bowie said, African women have embraced Western way of life more than the traditional African structure and well-organized system of marriage or a way of life. You realize that before our forefathers, there were a man having just a coffee farm or a cocoa farm, a single farm, who have
well, unfortunately, he was saying some very pertinent points there when his connection got disrupted.
are we there?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
just
so
just give a minute. Let's come back to you. I was trying to highlight something that you said, which I find important. I want to ask the ladies, what happened to the African tradition, the African way of life that has we have always upheld as something very valuable to us? Is it that we are abandoning it for the Western lifestyle, or how then can we claim to want to preserve an African lifestyle while continuing to imitate or to adopt foreign cultures? So, in the context of this, I would assume that in order to be the kind of African woman that everybody has been talking about, women would want to still maintain that gentle nature, that cooperative nature, rather than seeking independence. Because the, do you really think that by being independent, you are being led to the best place in your life? And do you also think that this tendency of independent woman and what it comes with, along with, do you think it is a good thing for our society also? Over to you. I would like let Michelle respond first. On mute, please. Okay, yeah.
Okay. For me, in the case of independency, like I don't accept. Even the Bible says, um, the two shall become one. Go to the world and multiply. Like we need to get married, and we need to get married. Yes, and again, like the issue of independency that it will lead us to nowhere. The women, you lead the women to nowhere. Like you need a man, you need a supporter to help you to grow. Two heads are better than one. But in the case of having a supporter as a man, then like the man wants you to like yeah in everything he says. Like, your opinion doesn't matter. That doesn't make sense. If your opinion doesn't matter, it does not make sense. Because actually, when they say two heads are better than one, your opinion matters and his own opinion too matters. But the way the men are saying, like, we are supposed to like, the respect that they need is that whatever they say is final, and which is not correct.
Sophia, what do you have to add to that? Can you unmute, please? Yeah.
Um, okay, so for based on what you're asking, normally I would say it is not right for us to abandon or neglect our real African nature. I'm talking in terms of the respect, the submission, and let me say that upbringing of our parents from before. It is right for us to continue with that, but in the process of continuing with it, it is also good to adopt the Western life in other aspects to add to what we already have. If a
Okay,
woman
sorry.
is submissive, if a
One
woman is
minute. One.
respectful,
Yeah. Let me just get. Let me guide you here. Can you tell us those Western qualities that you think are worth adding to our traditional values?
okay, those Western, okay, one, we can talk of independency, a woman being independent. I think the Africans, I see it right for us to adopt that Western life because
If somebody has something to challenge what she's saying, just jump in. Mr. Azimbobi, you may have something to retort here.
Okay. To somehow challenge her way. If you realized, in reference back to colonial movement and era, you discover that before the Europeans even came here with their culture and their tradition, the African society was well organized in a situation where respect was the order of the day. But after this Western people coming into Africa and the white man, you gradually realize that a woman starts seeing herself as being more stronger, being more powerful in the society, and therefore we started seeing these things of divorce coming into the African society more rampant than it was in the days. We saw people having 10, 15 wives and they were living well. But in the Western world, it's not like that in their culture. A man with a single wife, some people will even go without getting married, and it's normal. So Western civilization has caused more harm on African society than good. These Western people themselves, they have realized that these people were well organized. And that is why they came in with their agenda of colonization and partitioning of the African society. Because they discovered that the culture, our way of life, our way of living in humanity, if we continue to live like that, where respect is the order of the day, we will be more stronger than them. So the only tool was for them to destroy our own that we have so that they can implant their own. Indecent dressing wasn't our culture. Women in those days were wearing back.
Yeah, and I get the point that you're making, and this is very interesting because you hit a
We cannot get you,
very.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can get you.
Yes,
Okay,
we
very
can
well.
get it.
Yeah.
No,
So
we can't get you, but we can get him.
yeah. Okay. So let me mute Mr. Zimbabwe for a while so that he adjusts his volume, and to state this point that
Mamma
you
mia.
see the importance for us to be able to drive our narrative is imperative because
But
the value of a people must must be conceived and propagated by them. When external forces start coming in, they are coming to sweep away what is yours and to replace it with theirs. And that's why I think it's important for us to start reviewing what we consider African and to see how we can try to preserve the best of our own in order to avoid other cultures coming in and shifting what is ours away to replace with theirs. And this issue of relationship between a man and a woman, I believe them to be fundamental to the very equilibrium of society. So our development and the sustenance of this society depends on how we view ourselves. And from my observation, we have a tendency to look down on what is ours and to quickly embrace what is coming from outside. That's why you could hear Sophia. Unfortunately, she is not connected right now. She was advocating for us taking the Western independent kind of attitude into our society. But for me, what that does to our society is it breaks the family down and leaves us very vulnerable. So the question I want to ask is this: if a man can take care of you, provide and protect you, what do you need independence for? What do you need? Why do you need to go out again and work when you could stay at home and take care of the kids and the family? Is there any motive for a woman to go out under those circumstances, or is it or is it just the influence of feminism, as somebody was saying a while ago?
Go on, Michelle.
No, for me, it is important for a woman to go out and work in order to support a man. Like, let's say, if the man has the capacity and the financial ability to give you everything that you desire, and what if tomorrow those things are not there? Like, you need to work in order to support the man. Tomorrow you can help him and the rest. What if he dies before you, and like something like the family in our African culture, the family will come, maybe the property will be theirs and they will send you away. What if you're not doing anything by then to support yourself and the children?
That's a good question. I would like the
Yeah.
men to respond to this. What would you have to say about this point she's raising?
No, I think the point she gave is a very good point. We are all mature people. It's not like we have come here to just be like stereotyping the way we are thinking. We have come here to exchange ideas. We have come here to discuss as a people, to be reasonable as adults, and to be mature in our analysis. So I think like the point she has given is actually cool. So I think like the point she has raised is actually a valid point, and I think that yeah, that's the essence for discussions like this. You can say give and take. You learn from me, I learn from you. So I think like the independent aspect of the woman with regards to like fending for herself, I think I buy it in that because of her explanation. I think I buy it a lot because our society is not like the European society. If a woman's husband dies, the family come and they claim everything. The woman starts suffering her kids, and even at that, when it's just human tendency that when you continue to give someone something, at some point you start thinking that the person is a burden to you. You will start thinking that the person is a burden to you, and the respect you even have for the person will even be depreciated. Imagine that you've been married to a woman for 10 years and the one that has been providing for her everything for 10 years. Even though you'll be providing for her and she has actually been taking care of your kids, but you will not really respect her that much as someone who actually brought something to the table, like in terms of finance. But my only problem is, like I've been saying, is when the fact that you are able to go and bring something, or maybe the fact that you are able to go and earn something, and maybe, for example, your loan that maybe you are earning 500,000 and I'm earning 100,000, and you use it now as a motive now to disrespect me. That's where I have a problem with, and that's why it's like many of them did not understand me when I talked of respect. It's like many of them did not understand me because the man remains the head of the family. Whether they try to tell me that I'm trying to talk, is the truth. The man remains the head of the family. It is hierarchy. Whether it's a child, I don't know. Nobody can change my idea. But my only problem is that Like I said, a woman, like Michelle has really explained it to me carefully. A woman nowadays, the world has evolved. It's important for a woman to fend for herself. But when you fend for yourself, don't start disrespecting your husband because maybe you're earning more than him, and that's where my problem has always been because he remains the head of the family.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, well said, well said. So, having said this, how then can we equilibrate the nurturing aspect of the woman, especially pertaining to bringing up the kids and maintaining the home stability, and also her ability to earn an income? How do you think that situation can be managed?
In that
Now,
situation, I I will speak for myself. I will not speak for people. I've always said that my plan and my goal is to make my wife to go into entrepreneurship, to be self-employed, and there are many advantages why, and there are many reasons. If you guys are already understanding with the direction I'm driving to, you understand why I say so. When a woman is self-employed, maybe she has a trade, or she has a business. In terms of trade, let's say that she knows how to do something, like maybe she's a designer, she can bake cake, she works at home. She can twist her schedule to suit her in a way that she balances the time she has for her work and the time she has for her family. But when a woman starts working on a salary basis where she has a boss, and maybe a strict one at that, it is her family now that is supposed to twist their schedule to suit her work, and not as opposed to if she had a business where she has an employee, maybe let's say for example she has a small provisional store, a provision store, sorry, a provision store where she has a salesperson. She just needs now to discuss with the salesperson, tell the person what to do, and then that's it. She is the boss of the business. She can make out time for her family easily. If she has a skill where maybe she's a designer, or she makes cakes or whatever. If she's into like a service business where you sell your services, becomes very easy. So my dream and my goal is like my wife in future, I will not love her to work on a salary. I will not love her to work at a job, a 9 to 5 job, because it will be difficult for her to look after her kids. It's just the truth. It will be difficult. It's
I
my
know
wish. Again, life never, most cases, life doesn't go as planned, but that is just my wish. I just wish that my wife would be self-employed, or yes, something like that.
it's unfortunate that Sophia is not here. I had a specific question for her. She has been talking so much. She has been talking so much about independence.
Yes,
So I wanted to present the situation to her
yes.
that
So
many women,
she
many
has
of the
sent the
women,
group.
yeah.
She has sent a message to the group, to the WhatsApp group. She says that she ran out of data. So I
Ah,
don't know.
okay.
Hopefully she renews, or maybe we'll just conclude without them, because Vajan also told me that she ran out of data. But hopefully she renews as well. And but I think by our next live stream, I think the
Yeah,
problem of data
we'll
should be
sort that
sorted.
out. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, but the question I want to ask is this: there are many women who are who are disrespecting their husbands, saying they don't have time to take care of them and so on, only to go to their place of work and submit to another man who is their boss. They work according to the boss's schedule. They obey every instruction the boss gives, and then they come home and claim independence. What kind of independence is that?
Michelle, answer. But that's the truth. That's
Yeah,
the truth.
it's a hard one to answer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes I realize that many people throw out these words, independence, and so on,
Feminist.
yeah, without taking out time to evaluate and seeing how it affects them personally in their own daily lives. And I would suggest that if we just give ourselves a little bit more time to truly evaluate our options and not just follow mainstream ideas, we'll be able to deal with situations much better than we are doing right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we'll now just have our last round of talks before we round up. Now let's go back to the original topic, which was the passport bros. And my supposition here, my assumption is that we could encourage some guy from America to come to Cameroon to find a wife. I think that there could be some cultural advantages and probably cultural disadvantages. That let me just give you one. Most Black Americans are people who left Africa unwillingly through the slave trade. Coming back to marry a woman in Africa could be an ideal way for them to reconnect with their roots. And so many of them are willing to do so. But the question is our society ready to accommodate these guys and to help them to blend in? And secondly, for the women, if a man comes from America and takes you over there because that is your fear, are you ready to still be the woman that you are here when you reach America?
Question of the day.
No chance, no chance, no chance.
Well, there's a chance. There's a chance of being the same.
The chance are minute.
Yeah. But let's talk about the cultural impact of such unions. Sorry.
Can we?
Yeah, let's talk about the cultural impact of such union. How can that impact society? If you have guys coming from abroad to marry ladies from, do
Yeah.
you think do you think do
I
you
hope you're
think those?
getting me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I think if those African who were not willfully transported into Europe and America, if they are to come back to actually marriage in the African continent, it will be like a sense of uh, recognizing fatherland, recognizing the roots, and rebuilding the African continent for what it was supposed to be. Because if we discover a lot of brain drain has taken place in Africa, because the working force of African labor has been pushed to Europe and America. And so if these people come back home, it will bring back the sense of belonging, a sense of cultural identity, and you will have a situation where African economy will be more developed, and the lifestyle of people would get to change, because a lot of these things happen mostly in Africa because of a lot of poverty. Poverty brings a lot of issue in marital homes. So, but when these people come back, you see that they will get to make our society improve and develop, and they will remember our roots, where they came from. Because if you notice, in the Western world, we are finding a issue of xenophobia and
Racism.
white actually fighting against the black people. They look us as the last grade of being. So if these people are to come back in our continent, you get to expand the society and bring back the roots of African that was transported to Europe.
Okay. Well, that point is quite understood. But what about a person who is not black from another race? Do you think it's a good idea for marriage with those somebody from another
Uh,
race?
well, I would say is a good idea, since we are trying to bring a world to a global village, and so it will be a good thing for the whites to come here and get married, and but the smarter the white man we know they are, they will obviously want to come here and sweep us back there. They are too smart. They are too smart in everything. So it will obviously be a negative impact on the side of African. Why on the side of the Europeans and the Americans, it will be more positive on them. So that
Michelle,
one we cannot dispute. It's clear.
Michelle, do you agree with him, or do you have another?
Unmute, Michelle.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. I very much agree with you.
So you wouldn't? Do you want a marriage with someone from another race or not?
Like,
Uyobo.
Okay.
I want to. I like to.
Okay. Let me just read a comment that has been that I have here. Here's a comment from Lisette, and she says that she thinks that. Or let me just read it as a quote. I think if a man treats his wife with love and respect as well, there will be no reason for your woman to disrespect you and question your leadership in the house.
That's true.
So far this is the only comment that we have. The other one was just appreciation. So we thank Chotima also for appreciating the life. Unfortunately for us, today has not been the best day to begin this stream, but I think it's also a blessing in the sense that um, we are acquiring the experience necessary for us to do a better stream next week.
Next time, yes.
Yeah, and I would suggest that we all do personal campaigns as well so that we can have more people watching in real time. I know after this, some people will now come and try to look at the stream, you know, but we want this to be more interactive so that people who are watching, we can even give them opportunity to come out and say something. That's the very essence of this, so that we all get along together in real time. So I would like each and every one of you to just say his or her concluding word on this topic so that we wrap up for today. So, Mr. Zimbabwe, can you?
Okay, can you get me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. Go ahead.
Can you get me?
Yes, yes. I can hear you. Okay, Michelle, can you just take over since he has a connection problem?
Okay. I can conclude that like marriage is not about like the country or something, but it's about love. If you love someone and you are willing to do anything for the person, like you can go ahead. If the person even is from like a different country or somewhere you can go ahead and marry the
Can
person.
you
If
get
it's
me,
not,
sir?
Yeah, just let Michelle conclude and then you come over. Then you take over.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. Proceed, Michelle.
okay, like I was saying, marriage is not about someone like we are not different in the eyes of God. We are the same. So if you love someone, why don't you go ahead and marry the person? And if you can like manage the person's weaknesses, if you can live with the weaknesses, then it is advisable to go ahead and marry the person for me because nobody is perfect. Like we are working towards perfection, and if you see that like someone is having like someone can be having a weaknesses and you see that you are like trying to talk to the person and the person is trying to change, why not like give it a try and you know that the person really loves you and the person will change for the better.
Okay, nice. And therefore, are you encouraging these guys from America to come marry women from Cameroon? And can you assure them that they can find the right woman in Cameroon?
Yes, I'm encouraging them and I assure them that they can find a good wife from Cameroon.
Okay. So, Mr.
Yes.
Zimobi, over to you now. Yeah. Continue your discussion.
Okay. I hope you can get me well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you, the last question you just asked me, share. I will buy with have you. I will encourage those who are outside to actually come back here and get married to our own African women, so that it will get to take more people to transform them and then to experience different cultures, so that we can better off our society. We can compare the different cultures that we have in the world, and better off our society, than for them to get married to people of the other side of the Western world, that their roots or their own generation may get to end. So I therefore encourage those who are outside, and not only the men to come back, but the women also that are single over there, to come home here and get a husband, so that that sense of fatherland will be enough. Thank you.
Okay. Well, he unfortunately his volume is no longer he's no longer audible. I think his video is
Yes, no one, not the year again.
problematic. Yeah. So what we'll do is this, Mr. Boris, I want you to continue from where he is ending, and I'll ask you a question there for you to round up with. Do you would you
Okay.
say it's a good idea for Western women also to come find husbands in Africa, and why?
It's not a good idea. I'll just go straight to the point. It's a disaster. Is like a suicide mission because the incompatibility is so bad. It is okay for a Western man to to come here and get a wife. That's like 100% workable. But for a Western woman to get an African man, it's near impossible that that marriage will even last more than 2 years. I say this because they grew up in a completely different environment, in a completely different system, and the way they relate to men is completely different from the way the women who grew here relate to men. They have an idea of like this recent stuff that is just coming up. I think it's something that has been around for a long time, but recently it's become rampant. This issue of feminism, I don't know if it is the next topic we are going to talk about. This issue of feminism is what is in the minds of any Western woman now. The idea of women thinking that they are equal to and even more than men. And an African man will never take that. I can guarantee you. An African man can never go with that. So I would say that it's a no for me. I don't see how that marriage can work. I don't see how
This
that marriage can work.
is a no-no for me.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so we're kind of it's kind of a unanimous opinion that it's a bad idea for Western women to come
No.
find husbands in Africa.
Yeah, it's a bad
Okay,
idea.
well, while hoping that some of the brothers who are out there in America, in Europe, and elsewhere find Africa as a place where they can find suitable wives, I just want to thank all of you for your participation today. We have had some few technical issues with connection, but that's okay. We will hope that we'll find ways to stabilize that situation subsequently. So
Okay.
once again, thank you guys for being here and have a nice day.
Okay. Thank you too. And
Thank
just
you.
a
Okay.
reminder that we are going to keep communicating in the group